This is the Pocket Monster Manual. I'm Wooly Shambler, here with MD.
Hello.
Moogle.
Hello.
Raisin Bran.
Line.
Shiny.
It's Linoone.
Nice. And Specs.
It's pronounced Linoone.
We're talking about Linoone.
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 The Ruby deck entry is so good, where it's like, Linoone always runs full speed, only in straight lines. If facing an obstacle, makes a right angle and turn to evade it, and then this Pokemon is very challenged by gently curving roads.
I like that. This is very useful for, like, road markings. Because you could just literally put a little, like, thing on its back and just say, go. And it would just draw the paint in a straight line, like a perfectly straight line. Perfect. That's a dog job. Great.
Second most inconvenient Pokedex entries after Hitmonchan, who can only fight for 3 minutes at a time. Like, Linoone just seems to have a hard life if these are the rules he has to live by.
I cannot make a curve. I can only make right angles. Like, can he do a 45 degree or what?
No, not only can he only turn in right angles, he has to come to a complete stop, turn, and then do it.
Maybe he can, like, turn at any amount of degrees, just he has to be completely still before doing it, like tank controls in an old Resident Evil game.
Yeah,
Oh, God,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Operates like Jill Valentine then, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has smoothed out completely from when I was a kid. And Mandarin Chinese name is the Straight Dashing Bear.
Straight dashing bear.
It's not a bear.
What's Galarian Linoone got going for it?
It sucks. I hate the tongue.
Pretty much the
It's the
same.
same.
I
It's
love
just it's just angry. It's just a football lad starts fights with people who will beat him up.
Apparently, it uses its long tongue to taunt opponents. Once the opposition is enraged, this Pokemon hurls itself at the opponent, tackling them forcefully. So it just, like, sits there and, like, sticks out its tongue and then just body slams them.
It's basically, come and have a go, mate. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Come and have a go. Hey,
Oh, what are you saying about my mum?
hey,
I'm fucking at you in the gabba.
Basically. Awful.
Oh, the reason it's black and white is because it's based on a European badger.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
And then they were just like, what can we do with this black and white thing? And they were like, let's make it glam rock. So the part that makes it British is the badger bit.
Oh, all right.
And then they were like, let's make it interesting and do glam rock.
I didn't catch on to the badger thing at all, but that makes sense. Those are some mean motherfuckers.
It makes sense now.
That's because it's not a badger, it's a raccoon.
Yeah, I wonder why they did that.
Why not just make a badger Pokemon?
Is Linoone really a raccoon, honestly?
No, Linoone isn't. Zigzagoon is. But
Linoone
Linoone
is like
isn't.
a ferret, isn't it, really?
No, it's a badger.
Also, I appreciate that on the top of his head there is an arrow pointing directly forward.
Go this way.
I'm going this way.
Get out the way, get out the way!
Maybe the other two work as turn signals, so they start turning into an arrow when he's about to turn.
They flash.
His whiskers just, they just flap in the wind, yeah?
Of course, Dark Linoone is a rebel, so he doesn't use turn signals. He has no need for them.
I feel like the thing that kind of bugs me about the Galar forms for both Zigzagoon and Linoone is they kind of ditch the whole zigzag and Linoone thing, like line stuff. Like they don't really mention any of it.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense because it's still in their names. Like.
Yeah, well, I think Yamaska's a way worse culprit of that. Like,
I really wish that, like, regional forms were, like, separate Pokemon. Like, it doesn't make sense for Alolan Sandshrew, which is an ice type, to still be called Sandshrew. Like, I like the idea of, like, a regional form, like, branching off, but it should be, like, a different species with a different name.
It's just nostalgia bait. It's just nostalgia bait at the end of the day.
But they could still do this and just have a different name. Like, they could make Galarian Linoone and just give it a different name that better suits what it actually is.
and they did that with Cofagrigus. They just called it Runeragus instead. Like,
Yeah, like, they did that with some stuff, but they didn't do it with,
they don't do it with
I
everything, which is a really weird thing to do.
Because they're inconsistent and shit.
I don't know. I think from the perspective of, like, you do get similar animals in different areas that have evolved slightly differently in real life. I kind of like it, but it's weird that it's just, like, one or two Pokemon in one or two regions is the thing.
I feel like it was mostly designed for Gen 7 because of the island thing that they had going on, which makes sense because if you put an animal on an island for long enough, it will evolve different traits.
Well, it was like the
same
Darwin's
species.
finches kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
what it was going to be.
But also, you've got to remember, it's difficult to make the game, and this saves on resources because you just reskin them. You don't have to remodel.
Correct.
There is a Pokemon episode called Showdown at Linoone.
Aw, lame.
Like it.
No, it's good.